Hello everybody, it's Margaret. Welcome to my channel, Texas Gal Treasures. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Damascene, Toledo Damascene, Toledoware, Niello and Nielloware, and all of these terms and what they mean and the differences between them, because some of them, most of them, are not interchangeable. And so I thought that I would come on today and we would talk a little bit about these differences. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Margaret. I'm a reselling, homeschooling mom that flips things on eBay and Etsy to help support my family. And one of the things that I really enjoy learning about, teaching about, unboxing is jewelry. So today it's all about Damascene. If you haven't already, I would love to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Go down there and hit that subscribe button and the bell so you're notified when I go live, whether I'm doing a tutorial or an unboxing or what have you, just a chit chat. I'd love to have you join, and I am live, so thank you for being here in the live chat, friends. This is going to be one of those where I go through all the information, and then at the end I'll jump into the chat so that I can get all the information out for people who are watching later and maybe aren't wanting to hear the chit chat. And then at the end, if there's any questions or comments or corrections, then that's where we'll dive into that. So let's get started. And if I haven't said it yet, please go down there and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're watching later, leave me a comment. All right, let's dive in. So I did get my website back up and running, and thank you guys for messaging me. Margaret, your website's down, and it has been for probably a month or two, but I just hadn't had an opportunity to get in there and get it fixed. But I thought, hey, let's just start it off with a new blog post on the site. So I did create a blog post. I linked it down below. So if you wanted to go back later and take a peek, or if there's any corrections as I'm going along that you feel I need to make, then let me know. So we're going to be talking about Damascene. And if you look at this picture, some of you may be saying, that's all Damascene. And I know when I first started, I thought that too. And even into creating this article and this video, there were still some of them that I actually was a bit confused about. And so I was really glad that I did this, because I was able to clear it up for myself by doing a bit more research. So this is the thumbnail, and these are some different pieces. Only one of these things is not like the other. So one of these things is Damascene, and the others are technically not true Damascene, but that's okay. And I want to say, just to preface this, in the articles that I read and talking about faux Damascene or fake Damascene, I think that I don't want to say cheapens, but I think some of these other pieces are beautiful, and they may not be done in the technical style of Damascene, which we'll talk about, but they are, and nonetheless, desirable, sellable, and enjoyable. So there's that. All right. And okay, so let's dive in. So firstly, what is Damascene, if you're going to be specifically saying this is Damascene? So Damascene is a technique to make jewelry. And I have another website that I've pulled up that was amazing, and I link it in my article as well. Oh, that's not the right one. That's not it. Here it is. About Damascene jewelry, and it shows the process. So basically what happens is they take this piece of metal, usually steel, and some of the articles I read, it was tin, but most of the time steel, and they carve into the steel. And then they take gold threading or gold leaf or silver, either one, and they lay it in to the grooves that have been created, right? And after that, they finish it up, they close it all up, and then they blue it, which means that they are like oxidizing that steel. So it's not painted on like enamel. It's like steel that's been oxidized and darkened. So that is, and then he's chiseling the relief into the gold. So he's like finishing it off so it's really standing out. And then this ending part, he's burnishing the gold thread with a burn. So as you can see, it is quite an involved process. It's quite involved. So finding a piece of true Damascene is really spectacular. I mean, there's a lot of craftsmanship that goes into it. Now, so the confusing part, which I actually was confused too about what is, the difference between Damascene and Toledo Damascene, blah, 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 blah. Technically, Damascene, if it's created like the actual way Damascene is created, it can be made in Japan, in Toledo, in what was there were some other places I listed in my. I mean, the technique of Damascene is it doesn't matter where it's made. So Toledo Damascene, this is my mistake that I thought until I did a bit more research was that, oh, well, Damascene is created like in Japan, right? Because that's what I was thinking. And then Toledo Damascene was just made in Spain, Toledo, right? No, big no. So it's the technique of how they make it. And I see I'm going to jump into the chat in just a minute. And again, at any point in this, if you're like, that's incorrect information, Margaret, let me know, because I can always update stuff on the page. And again, this is all of my diving into research today and over time. So here's the article talking about what I just said, the different areas you can find it. And then here's a piece. Amida is a maker of Damascene. That's a pretty well-known one. So this is a piece of Amida Damascene. And then this is another piece of Damascene. I'm not sure about that maker on the back. It may also be, it looks like an A, but it also looks kind of like a pyramid. All right, so Toledo Damascene or Toledoware. So Toledo Damascene is often, Toledoware is often called Toledo Damascene, but I'm not sure that it's necessarily interchangeable. Let me know what you think. Because again, I thought, oh, if it's made in Spain or Toledo, then it's Toledo Damascene, but not necessarily, right? So Toledo Damascene, as you can see, is not made by chiseling down and then laying in the gold and laying in the silver and then bluing it and oxidizing that black. Toledo Damascene, as you can see, the design is raised up, whereas on authentic Damascene, it's like carved down and the gold and silver is placed down. So this Damascene, it's raised, and then the carved down part is enameled or painted in with reds, blacks. And on almost all the Toledoware, you'll see this kind of pebbling, or what do we call that? Like the little bumps along the edges, and it's like beading, and then painted white. So on almost all of it, you'll see that white beading paintwork. So that is, so here I'm writing about Toledo, and I'm writing about my confusion. So here again, you can see on this Toledoware leaf, it's got the raised design, it's got the black enamel painted, and it's got the white enamel with the beading, which I feel like there's another word for that. All right, okay, I'm just checking in the chat, but I'll be back in the chat. And again, I always hesitate on saying something, it's faux Damascene, because it makes it sound like it's not as good, or not, I mean, it's definitely not as intricately made, but it's just, yeah, just done differently. Here's another piece. I think I shared this one with y'all recently, of the Toledoware. Again, it's got that white, let's see, Julie says stippling. So there you can see that, and you can see that the black is definitely painted on enamel that's been chipped away. It's not that oxidized steel that's been blackened or blued, as they call it. There's that one. So here I've got some more examples of Toledoware and, quote, faux Damascene. This one, at first glance, you're like, ooh, that's Damascene, right? But then when you get in closer and look at it, you can see that the design is this raised design, and it looks almost as if it was made on like, I can't really tell, like if it's a ceramic or something like that that's been carved and then set into the frame of the metal, and then I don't know if it's painted or if the black is done all the way through, or how that was made, but you can see that it's not carved down, and that gold is not laid in, and it's not, blued on that. And then here I put, you can see there's that gap between the piece. You can see over here also that it's kind of chipped off. You can see the gap in there, where it's, you know, a whole other separate piece that's been created and then kind of glued into that frame. And then this bracelet is just like this black panel. It looks like it's just been kind of carved with a rose design. Then this is just a black enameled butterfly pin, not Damascene. And then this one, I want to know what you guys think. I think this one is not authentic Damascene because, one, while it is in a bag, it's marked Toledo, right? And it does have that look of being carved down, but I don't, one, because the edges around like the flowers and stuff, if you can see over here, it looks like it's been painted on. It doesn't look like it has been oxidized, you know. It looks like black paint. It looks just kind of messy painted on. And then here, like there's some glue. You can see this whole piece has been glued into this frame. So I don't know if this is just like a, you know, tourist like cheapie that they give away. And then here are the earrings that were in that bag as well. Again, you can see the glue over here. You can see that it is carved in there though, but perhaps it's, I don't know. Tell me what you think. That one had me a little bit stumped, but it looked kind of messy. Like here on this one, you can see where the black, you know, it looks like it's paint that's been like chipped away, right? And not, right. I guess they know what they're doing. Here's another one that is the Toledoware, and you can see where there's raised designs. This looks like it's just been painted on. Still a beautiful piece, but not technically Damascene. And again, on this one where it's the carved down, this is that Toledoware, where the grooves have been painted black, and then there's some just sort of white slapped on there. And then I did want to talk about Niello and Nielloware. So Niello, and I have some web pages we'll go and look at too, just for some more examples. So Niello, and this is something I had to learn a bit more about as well. Niello is a black mixture, and I'm reading off Wikipedia here, and it's usually sulfur, copper, silver, and lead, and then it's used as an inlay on a piece that has already been, so let's say this is a piece that we're going to make. If I'm, you know, knowing how to make this, I will have this design of this dancer already, you know, etched out. And then I'll take my Niello, which is that black mixture, and I'll spread it in there, and then it gets like fired. So it's not a paint, it's a metal alloy mixture that gets kind of fired in there. And then the design, so it's in the void spaces of the piece. Let's see. I feel like I lost my blah, blah, blah. Okay, so Nielloware, or so this is Nielloware, using the Niello being the black part, is sometimes confused for Damascene because of the dark background, which again, I have definitely thought that in the past too. All right, so here's the last one. I was like, you guys be the judge. This is a piece that I have currently, and it is labeled Reed & Barton Damascene. But do you think it is Damascene, or do you think that Reed & Barton just created a jewelry collection called Damascene and just made it look like this? You know what I mean? Because after learning what I've learned about Damascene, I don't think this is like true Damascene. I hate doing this too. And then at the bottom of the article, blog post, whatever you want to call it, I linked all these different sites that I was reading up on, and some had just amazing information, great pictures. What else did I have over here for you? This was one of the sites that I was looking at about Siam silver. It was really super interesting, and because I was going back and forth between Siam silver or Thai silver and Nielloware, because there were on the different websites, and this is the thing you got to take with a grain of salt, including mine. As I'm reading across the different sites, there might be a few little differences in the way people describe things. So yeah, just and it's good to know. Good to know. Okay, let me peek in the chat and see. Let me pop this up over to the side again. And I'll have this up at the top. Here, then we can look at it as we talk. How about that? How's that look? All right. Okay, I'm gonna look back in the chat, see if there's any questions or corrections. Again, I make mistakes all the time. I'm the first to say it. So if any of my information is a bit, I need to be tweaked or anything, just leave me a comment and I can go tweak it on the article. Easy peasy. Okay. And if you're like, okay, I'm done, I heard what I need to hear, thank you for coming and hanging out. Thank you for spending time watching my video, and I'll see you on the next one. If you're hanging out, then let's talk some more Damascene, Toledoware, Nielloware. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm so glad you could catch me live. Hello. Thank you, Chrissy. Yeah, I can't remember. I think I got these in a jewelry, probably in a jewelry box for sure. Yeah, the ship brooch is cool. This is where I'm like, and also I've meant to mention this earlier before I said bye to people. I think knowing the difference is important, but I also think if you're a jewelry seller, knowing what people search is important. So on this site, Nielloware brooch, would I put Damascene somewhere in like my tags or somewhere in the description? Probably, because not everybody knows that that's called Nielloware. I would definitely call it the proper thing, but I might also somewhere in there put Damascene. Same thing for Toledoware, because not everybody knows Toledo Damascene, Toledoware. There, you know what I mean? So when you're a seller, you kind of have to keep that in mind as well. Then, okay. The ship is cool, right? And I think it's so awesome. Oh, you're wearing a Damascene bracelet today. Yay. The ship is a brooch. Yes. Yeah. And most of these are items I still have. A few of them are items that have already sold. And I thought I had a bracelet picture in here. And I'm like, did I not put that in my post? I may have to go back and put it in. I had so many pictures. Yeah, I didn't put the bracelet in there. So I've got another picture of a Damascene bracelet that I definitely need to go put in. Okay. Stippling. Okay, yeah, we got that. Hi. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, thank you, Karen, for joining the channel. I really appreciate that. Yeah, definitely. Thank you. I am looking again. Okay, it's hard to tell on the photos on the Reed and Barton one. Yeah. And of course, because it says Damascene on the back, you would think, oh, it's Damascene, but maybe not. Yes, I am so distinctive. It really is. It's so pretty too. I think a lot of times it doesn't get it. I feel like it should be worth more than it is. Definitely. Oh yeah, I wish it was more popular than it is. I agree, totally. A little pronunciation hint. Damascene versus Damascene. Okay. Well, is it like you say tomato, I say tomato? Or is it one of those that's gonna drive people crazy if I say it wrong? Yeah. Damascene would be smooth to touch. I think if you were to touch it, you would feel the indentations of the design, like true Damascene, because it's carved down, right? This is such a great point. What people are using as their keyword. Yeah. I feel like I'm saying a lot too. All right. Now I was going to show, I meant to post in my, well, I just crunched it down, didn't I? But I had a few other pictures. Well, I'll just show them later, I guess. I'll go put them into the post. But I had some other pieces of Damascene that I thought I got in there, but I just didn't. Okay. I am grateful that you all came and hung out. Again, I got my website back up and running. I'm trying to get posts put up there. I feel like that'll really help focus some of my videos when I'm talking about, especially tutorial type things. And yeah, that is Damascene. Again, I would love to hear your input, and I will talk to you on the next one. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. Bye.